everybody. It's Terry over here, Hidden Hollow. Taking a little ride to the chiropractor today. Been having this pain in my leg for about 2 weeks now. In the last few days, it's really been killing me. It's like in the middle of my thigh, all the way up to my hip bone. I say a lot of times it stems from spinal injuries, and I can almost say it was the time that I decided I was going to play cowboy in Indians with my buddy Skinny Laws back in North Carolina. I was riding his horse. The horse's name, let me see if I can remember. The horse's name was Bucky. Yeah, Bucky. They called him that because he liked to buck a lot. I didn't know that at the time. And let's say the day that I started out riding him, I got on this horse and I had a beer in one hand, I had the reins in another hand. Here I am turning left on Leetown Road in West Virginia. And what had happened was I was going across a pasture and the horse was trotting as far as I knew. I was like, here we go, yeah, yeehaw, you know. A few beers and I'm all of a sudden a cowboy, even though I didn't really have a whole lot of experience riding horses. Well, when I got back, everybody told me that was really cool. And I was like, well, what's really cool? I said, well, the way you were going across that field there and that horse was bucking and kicking the whole time. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. Oh, well, you know, lucky me. I'm the cowboy, right? Well, so later on that day, we're riding these horses around, and this horse had a lot more control over me than I had of him. And, you know, we were riding for a while, and we got down into this creek bed where we were all riding down in this creek. And I got up around Skinny, my buddy Skinny. He was about 7 foot tall, skinny. And we started talking, and we was both drinking, so we was joking about, look out for the Indians, because they could start shooting at us anytime. So we were joking around going down through the creek, and something got the better of me, and I'm looking up at this embankment, going up the side of this hill, and I'm like, yee-haw! So here I go. I took off, fast as all could get out, tried to go across this embankment. Well, when I got to the sand to go up the embankment, Mr. Horse started sinking. Well, as he started sinking, he started freaking out and pulling his legs up and kicking. And next thing I know, Mr. Horse, Mr. Bucky, as be known, decided he was going to roll over. So he like crashed out and rolled over. And here I am on the side, and I had my leg underneath of him when he fell on his side, so I decided I was going to roll out and get out of the way. Well, yeah, I rolled out. But as soon as I rolled out, he stood back up, made a left-hand turn and took off running. And when he did, one of his back hooves caught the lower section of my spine right up next to my tailbone, and he shoved me into the sand and shoved my face underwater in the creek. Well, after that, I felt like I was crippled. I crawled out of there. It took a while to even get going, but I crawled up out of there, and I crawled back to the house where everybody was hanging out, and you know, where we all met up at. And I went in the house and I laid down on the couch and I stayed there until it was time to leave because I had ridden up there with somebody else. Well, that began my career of, I'm never riding another horse again. I think I did ride one more after that, but it was a very gentle horse, but that was it for me. You know, I started going to the doctors, and the first place I went to, they didn't want to help me because they thought that I was just in there trying to get pain medicines. This is after I paid the bill to go into this, I guess, an urgent care clinic. I had insurance and everything, but you know, I was just going to see if maybe they could help me out because I didn't have a doctor or nothing else like that at the time. So yeah, they pretty much got it in their head that I was just in there for meds, and they told me there's nothing they could do for me without x-rays and everything else, and they referred me just to go to the hospital, which I did. I went to Duke University Hospital down in North Carolina and started getting some help. And about the day that they were going to start shooting needles into my spine, I started feeling a whole lot better, and I wouldn't let them do it. But here it is, God knows, 15 years later or so, and a lot of that stuff is coming back to haunt me now because I've been dealing with certain pains, and it's all because of a spinal injury that I received back in the day riding this stupid horse. Well, anyway, that was about what happened to me on that adventure. I have other horse adventures I could tell you about too. but I'll leave it for another day. I guess what I really wanted to get to is this weekend is the Reading Pigeon Show in Reading, Pennsylvania. And there's a lot of guys that watch my videos and a lot of guys that I watch their videos that I know are going to be there. You really got to slow down here because they will get you. But it's pretty cool because this little church right here on the left, that's where I went and voted this year in the, I guess, the midterms. Pretty neat, huh? But if there's anybody that watches my YouTube page that's going to be there this weekend, I'm going to be there Saturday. I'll probably be there about 10 or 11 in the morning. I'm slow. Me and the wife's going to be there. My brother's going to be there. I'd like to meet you. I'd like to get to know who some of these people are out here. On the Go Loft, I know you're going to be out there. I hope I get to meet you. I'll be looking out for you. I hope you're going to be there Saturday. If there's anybody else, I sure would like to know because, like I said, I'd like to meet you. I'd like to get to know who these guys are that I deal with on YouTube. Brothers in the pigeons. My feather brothers. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, like I said, I'm on the way to chiropractor. I thought I'd just do a quick little video of what's going on. Say hey, tell a little story, and wish y'all a great weekend coming up. Have a good week.